is adopted.
The concept note for the meeting, chaired by Sierra Leone, warns that hard-won peace gains and contributions to the women, peace and security agenda are jeopardized when hurried transitions, often at the behest of national authorities, leave women and girls without the requisite protection from sexual and gender-based violence, synonymous with conflict zones.
And issues of gender equality more broadly are often underrepresented or absent in negotiations with host countries over mission drawdowns or departures. In some cases, women are mentioned only as victims in need of protection rather than as partners in the transition, including the many women's rights organizations that could inherit crucial functions undertaken by the departing mission if only they were given adequate support. Women are also excluded from decisions about security matters or security architecture.
Council heard that given the short time afforded to close the peacekeeping mission there in 2023, no work on women, peace and security or gender advisors were transferred to state authorities. In Sudan, despite warnings against ending the mandate of the peacekeeping mission UNAMID in 2020, Darfur is again an epicenter of violence, facing risks of genocide, while sexual violence against women and girls is rife. Similarly, in the DRC, where MONUSCO is engaged in a phased drawdown, UN human rights experts point to widespread trafficking in persons, particularly for slavery and exploitation, in addition to rising child and forced marriages in the conflict-affected eastern regions of the country. As these transitions are pushed to grapple with the security context left behind.
Rushing through a transition process against the background of a tense political climate, persistent security threats and protection concerns can jeopardize hard-won peace gains, including progress on gender equality. Indeed, national stakeholders could be unprepared to shoulder additional responsibilities, while support from international partners may not be readily available.
Society activist who runs a Khartoum, Sudan-based political think tank lamented the withdrawal of UNAMID from Sudan in 2020, with war returning in the current conflict between the Sudan Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces.
As a Sudanese woman, I believe the timing of UNAMID's withdrawal in 2020 was a massive miscalculation, especially as it took place before any alternative national force could be set up in its stead. The result was a gaping protection vacuum. Consequently, violence in Darfur spiked markedly. The Juba Peace Agreement, which was seen to reward one set of political actors over another, fanned the ethnic flames in West Darfur even further. In January 2021, just a month after UNAMID's withdrawal was complete, women displaced by the violence told reporters that they faced either rape or death from violence and hunger.
Several council members called for a comprehensive gender-responsive analysis to guide transition processes.
This is essential for defining gender-responsive benchmarks that ensure missions are not forced to exist without fulfilling minimum conditions that will ensure the sustainability of WPS commitments. We must ensure, in this regard, that the United Nations country teams are endowed with the appropriate expertise in the wake of a mission's departure to preserve continuity in terms of reporting and addressing human rights violations and abuses, notably sexual and gender-based violence.
Pressing the need for the women, peace and security agenda to be better integrated in decisions to end UN mandates in theatres of instability around the world, where women and girls are often the worst affected by the security vacuum left by departing blue helmets. Shervin Brycebees, SABC News, New York.